Today's video is going to be a lot. Before we get into today's video though, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. I hope everybody is drinking their water. I don't want to hear about your sodas that you have down below or your whiskey. I see your comments. I see you. You need to be chasing it with some water. And everybody else needs to be drinking their water too. So I hope everybody's getting geared up for the weekend. We have got a very good video today. I've been down the rabbit hole and y'all are coming with me. Before we go any further though, I did want to show y'all, for those of y'all that love nails, not y'all that don't love nails, Dash Nails, this company right here, you can find them over on Etsy, made these. And yes, they're actually a little bit longer than my typical nails, but look at them. They are the nightmare before Christmas. I mean, look at this. The talent is absolutely insane, you guys. Before we go any further, I did want to stop and thank today's sponsor, Raycon. Raycon, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. If you have not heard of Raycon earbuds give you amazing quality wherever you go. Whether you use them to pump up, wind down, to go to work or work out, whether you use them like I do while you're cleaning up around the house or while you're cooking, or even lately when I have been wrapping Christmas gifts. Raycons would be very useful for anyone on your list, even better for you, and they start at half of the price of other premium audio brands. Raycons are available in 5 stylish colors, so you can pick a perfect one for everyone on your list. And with free shipping and free returns, gift giving is easier than ever. All you gotta do is click the link down in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/Christina Randall and use code HOLIDAY and you can save 15% statewide and get your earbuds today. Again, all you gotta do is go to buyraycon.com/Christina Randall and use code HOLIDAY in all caps and you can save 15% today. Thanks again, Raycon. Woo! So, in my last video earlier this week, a lot of you were telling me some things about the Brian Laundrie connection or possible connection. We'll get there with the Kylen and Crystal situation in Moab. So a lot of y'all know that there was a newlywed couple in Moab within days. Well, actually, they were there the same exact time that Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito were in Moab. And as a matter of fact, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito, they got into that argument out in front of like the cafe, little grocery store, a co-op is what it is, there in Moab. Well, Kylen was working at that store the day that they got into the argument, and then they drove off and then they got pulled over. And then you guys know we all watched the body cam footage over and over and over and over again. Okay. Well, that was on the 12th of August. That night on the 12th of August, the police right on camera separated Gabby and Brian. They sent Gabby back to the campsite because the van was hers, and they took Brian to a hotel. Now, they took Brian to a hotel to spend the night to keep them separated so they could cool down. That was allegedly around 7 minutes of a walk to a local tavern. Okay, you following me here? That night or the next night, it was the 13th. So it was, I guess, technically the next night. Newlywed ladies, Kylen and Crystal, were at that local tavern having some drinks, hanging out with their friends, and that is when they told their friends that there was a creepy guy around their campsite that was making them feel uncomfortable, so they moved campsites. Now, I did not know this until just today while I was researching more of this, that they were actually living at these campsites. So they were working in town, just got married. They were living at the campsites. They were, hanging out with their friends. It seems like Moab, from what I can find, you guys let me know down below. It's a small town out there around the mountains, lots of campsites, lots of nature things to see. But everybody that works in the town kind of knows everybody. It's like kind of close knit, So they're at the tavern that night. When they leave that night, they would never be seen again. They didn't show up at work. One of the young ladies' father. This was a post made by Kylen's father on August 18th. Missing persons. Kylen and Crystal told close friends that there was a weirdo camping near them and that was freaking them out, and that they should move campsites. Now, they have been missing for over 4 days and nights. And then he goes on to asking for help. So this was on August 18th, which means they had been missing for 4 days. So they had been missing since August 14th. He's actually the one that called the police. The police allegedly, this is where it's going to, went out to look for the two women and did not find them. Okay, and so that's when the father is continuously posting on Facebook and saying, nope, the cops can't find them. If anybody sees them or sees their vehicles or anything, let us know, please. I'm looking for them. Now, a lot of people were commenting on Facebook and saying, oh, they're probably just out for a long hike for a couple days. They're probably this, that, whatever. Well, the girl's father knew that they would not show up to work because they were scheduled to work. They didn't show up, no call, no show. He knew in his gut something was wrong. One of their friends who was seeing these Facebook posts, named Cindy, this lady right here, decided that she would go and look for them herself. Now, I'm going to leave a video link down in the description box, and I'm going to add a couple clips in this video from this YouTube channel that did an interview with her, and it was an excellent interview. I highly recommend you guys going over and watching it.
His daughters were missing. They weren't responding. They were no calls, no shows. The police had searched for them with no success. And he felt that the police might have missed something. So during that day, Tuesday, the 17th, I argued with myself all day long about how I could possibly find them, because I was being told basically in my gut that I had to go.
So she decides she's going to go and look for the two ladies. When she goes to look for the two ladies, she says that she has to drive about an hour, like it's pretty much off the beaten path, okay? And there's a lot of a loss of signal up there, but she said this day, for some reason, she never lost signal. Now, at this point in time, the cops were allegedly still looking for the two women. Looked for a while, and then...
But you literally could see their campground from the Lake Warner turnoff, and that was one of the sites they had searched. So to me, I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. If they had searched, they would have seen there's a campsite down there, and you would think that they would have gone over to check it out, because you could see it.
From the road, you could see the lady's vehicle. So she was like, okay, wait. So she went over to the lady's vehicle. She looked for a few more minutes, and then that's when she found...
I noticed there was a creek bed there, and I said, oh, there's a whole pack of like Gatorade bottles or something, and they were torn out of the plastic sleeves, and they were scattered all over the ground, and literally a little bit to the left in the creek was Kylen's body.
She called the police, told them, and she was talking to the young lady's father again. He told her to go get in the car, lock the door, because, because she could be in danger. There could still be a murderer on the loose out there. And she waited for the cops. She said she waited like an hour for them to get there, which told her right then and there that they weren't out looking for her. So the friend is the one that found the body of these two young women after the police allegedly went and looked for them and couldn't find them. And she said she could see their vehicle from a turnoff on the road. Okay. We know that's frustrating right there. Now, listen, you guys, I do not think that this reflects on the police department as a whole. But lately, we've been doing a whole lot of talking about them missing the mark. Okay, we're going to talk about Jelani Day's situation, the situation with Brian Laundrie. I mean, is there any other example for somebody dropping the ball? How that young guy walked right past the police surveilling the house. The house is surrounded by cameras, got into his car and drove off. And then 2 days later, the chief is giving a press conference saying, we know exactly where Brian Laundrie is. And they had no idea where he was, okay? Then you got this situation with Kylen and Crystal, where the cops are telling the father, we went and searched for him. We couldn't find him. And then the friend goes out, looks for him, couple hours, boom, finds them both laying, finds one of them. She didn't look any further. And then when the cops came, they found both of them. So this kind of makes people lose their trust in these investigating officers. So like I said in the other video, if you ever find yourself in these situations, please go and look for your family members. Okay, now that I've gotten that out. Things that this lady, Cindy, who was the friends of Kylen and Crystal, said that was very interesting to me. She's been putting the pieces of the puzzles together too. She also said that she found it weird that the cops came forward right away and said that there's no connection between Brian Laundrie and these two ladies. There's no connection, nothing to see here. How do you know there was no connection? Especially after now we found out that Brian Laundrie ended his life with a gunshot wound to the head. And these two young ladies also were murdered in the same way. Also, when you put together that they have not had a crime like this in Moab for over 25 years, and it just happened to happen within the same few days or weeks of each other as Gabby, Petito, and these two young ladies. Cindy also said that the two campsites that Gabby, Petito, and Brian Laundrie had were within minutes of where Kylen and Crystal were staying.
A lot of coincidences, like where they were going to camp. There's two spots that they had chosen, and both of them are within minutes of where the girls were camping. Yeah. There's obviously a lot of speculation going on about that whole thing, and yeah, when I first saw his picture and everything, I felt like, oh my gosh, this is the guy. Okay. This is the guy.
Now, you guys, it could be two totally different killers, but that is weird. Okay, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito got into a fight in front of Kylen's work. Then they got separated, and the police took Brian to a hotel room that was a 7-minute walk to the tavern that the ladies were last seen at. And we know that Brian Laundrie, his parents were very open to tell that he had no problem going and staying in the wilderness with just a backpack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days at a time with needing nothing else. Then we find out that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's campsites, two of them, were within minutes of the campsite where the two ladies were staying. And there was a creepy guy out at the campsites. And Brian Laundrie flew home on the 17th to go move Gabby's stuff out of storage. On the 17th. The two ladies were reported missing on the 16th. Their bodies were found on the 18th, right around the time that Brian Laundrie was gone. You guys, I am like, to me, I just don't see how they are not related. At this point, to me, somebody's going to have to show me, or somebody else is going to have to come forward and make me believe, not that I'm anybody special, I'm nobody, by the way, this is just my personal opinion, that he wasn't involved in this. Because one thing that we do know, Brian was very look at the way he acted in front of the cops, right? Like very kind and, like, oh no, I don't need anything. Oh yeah, it doesn't, sun just setting my head on fire, just, oh, it's okay. I understand. Or, they offer him a water bottle. Oh no, I don't drink out of plastic. I just smack my girlfriend around, but don't want to use any plastic. But then we see situations of like the things that he did behind the scenes with Gabby that the best friend was talking about how he took her ID out and they fought all the time and she would come and stay with her friend because they would be fighting so much, and I'm not saying that Gabby was a perfect girlfriend and she didn't have any issues and, whatever. I'm not saying that, right? But we know that she didn't kill her boyfriend, okay? So we know how Brian can wear these masks and he can look one way in front of somebody if he wants to manipulate, and then the way he can act behind closed doors. We also know by the man that ran into Brian at the bar, where he was going off, seeming very aggressive, according to those people, and talking about the things that he was talking about there. Then we also know about the interaction that he had while he was hitchhiking, where he offered that young couple $200 to take him 10 miles down the road and was telling them this big story about how he went hitchhiking for 3 days and his girlfriend was at the campsite. And it was like he was trying to cover his tracks. And then we know that he flew home on the 17th. The girls were reported missing on the 16th. He flies home on the 17th to move stuff out of storage. That doesn't make sense, you guys. I'm wondering, because a lot of people were saying in my last video, like, I wonder if the reason why the cops, debunked it was because the gun that Brian had was different than the ones. Well, I'm wondering if he had one of those other 10 weapons. I just said the word, but you guys get it. If he had one of those other 10 weapons that his dad owned, and he flew that one back and got the other one. I mean, none of it makes any sense. The fact that he drove the van into the garage and hid it in there. The fact that he was reading these books that were about these same stories that are unfolding in front of our face. And then, I'm so sorry, but when the cops come forward and say, no, they weren't connected, I don't trust them. Look at all the other mistakes that have been made. I'm in disbelief. The more that I go down, like I said, once I found out the way that Brian Laundrie took his own life, allegedly, because I know a lot of y'all do not even think that he's dead. A lot of y'all think that he's still alive. And I can't lie. I get why you have no trust in what the FBI and them are saying right now. I get it. I do think he's dead, but I get why you question it, right? So forgive me again if when the cops come forward or the FBI comes forward and they say there's no connection between them, that I don't believe them. I don't. You didn't even find the girls' bodies. You didn't even find Brian Laundrie's body. His parent, you spent millions of dollars searching for his body, and his parents came out there and found it in 20 minutes. What do y'all think? Like, this is bad. This is so bad. I do hope that the Moab newlywed couple's family will get some sort of answers. If it was Brian, I don't know if they're ever going to come forward and say that. And I know a lot of y'all in my last video were saying there's no way that they would cover that up. Show me a reason why you think that they wouldn't at this point. Show me anything else in these situations that they have done right. I mean, poor Gabby Petito's family stood up there in that press conference and said that they had full trust in the FBI and the police department. And while they were saying that, they had no idea where Brian was, and they were doing press conferences saying they knew exactly where he was. So it's bad, you guys. I feel so horrible for all of these families that have put their trust in these investigators. It's bad. And you guys can see this is a post on Facebook that Kylen's dad made on September 14th, which was a month after the girls went missing and a little bit less than a month after their bodies were found. And it says, one thing is on my mind. Where the heck is the FBI? I, for one, have not seen one single person. I have not been questioned by the FBI. I don't see or hear them. The Grand County Sheriff is in charge. Are they putting clues in an FBI database? I don't know. And if I don't know, who the heck does? Like, I cannot imagine how this father feels in desperation, and he's not even hearing from anybody. Ugh. But yet they can come out immediately and let the public know that Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito's situation is not connected to the two ladies. Well, how did they know? How do they? It's ugh. And I don't understand why. I can't make any excuses for these investigators in this whole situation either. I don't get it. I don't get it. You can't say Moab, it's a high crime area and they've got a lot of investigations and, it's just, one in the bucket. No, allegedly the crime rate there is low and they haven't had a murder like this in 25 years. I mean, what else was y'all doing? When you went to go search for them and you couldn't find them and this friend drove right on up there and found them. What was y'all doing? Out there playing, Angry Bird on your phone? I don't understand. I don't get it. So those are my thoughts. Let me make sure my things that I was writing down to remember to tell y'all. Yep, staying minutes, the campsite. Oh, this right here. Another thing while we're talking about the distrust. A lot of y'all were saying this, and I was seeing news articles on this, is that the FBI allegedly are saying that they knew that Brian Laundrie had that gun that whole time. And the reason why they did not alert the public is because they didn't want to create panic. So you mean to tell me that while he was missing, man, they just messed everything up. While he was missing, you knew that a potential murderer was on the loose with a gun, and you had the public helping to look for him, and you didn't bother to tell the public that he was armed and dangerous? Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. And every time I see this types of stuff, it just makes me think about the fact that there are people that actually trust the government to take care of us fully. Think about this here, you guys. Think about it. It's crazy. There was literally a potential murderer on the loose, armed, and you got the whole public looking for them, and you didn't bother to tell them that he was armed and dangerous. Okay. All right. That's it for the day. I'm going to end this video here because I done got myself all worked up and annoyed. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with me. Y'all know I'm just a ding dong with a camera, so I appreciate y'all being here and us talking about this crazy behind mess. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I hope y'all get outside. I don't know where y'all live at, but the weather is cool here. It is nice here. We're gonna have a fire going in the backyard and just spend time together, and I hope y'all do the same. Get outside, drink your water. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.